So, purchased two sets of tuners, both from the same company, Vanton, or Vanson should I say. I just need to decide which ones to use on this particular one. Each one of those is individually wrapped, which is nice. And we have the little ferrules and the and what have you in a separate packet there. So let's just have a look at one of these. Yeah, just basically a bog standard tuners. They do that feels quite nice to turn there. So I'm hoping obviously that they all tune well and they're a decent tuner for the price point. And we'll just have a quick look at this one. These ones are the VN05, and these were a little bit more expensive. For what reason I don't know, but I may have got one set off eBay and another off Amazon. So these again, I think I'm probably going to choose the ones that just go best with the other gold hardware on the guitar. These look very similar in colouring, so there might not be a lot in it. It might be just more of a shape type of a thing. Yeah, again, the quality on those feels quite nice as well. I think these ones are closed ones. These ones have an open back to them. So, yeah, I think I'll probably go for these ones on that. I'll just show you the difference between the two if I can give you a. Okay, so we'll get these bobbed on. See what happens. See what they look like. Oh, I'm missing something. Seem to fit okay. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with the quality of these. So I finished putting the tuners, or the machine head, whichever you want to call them, on. The camera did run out of memory, so I had to do these off camera, but there they are, all in situ. Quite pleased with how they look. That's the back, if you excuse it being upside down. There we go, not too bad apart from the dodgy paintwork obviously, but there you go. Right, I'm going to try and get this fixed onto the guitar now, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to just fit smoothly because the pick guard just there is sticking over a little bit. So I'm pretty sure when I try this on, I'm going to need to make some adjustments. Yeah, I don't want to force this because I don't want to break any of this little area of the neck pocket there, so it's just I'm going to have to just whittle away, I think, at that scratch plate. I've just got a Stanley knife blade there, and I'm just going to gently try and whittle that away, or scrape it away, should I say. Okay, that's looking better. We'll flip her over. And just see if the screws go in the correct manner. Seems to line up okay. If these go in the correct location, everything's good. Apart from, they don't seem very long, these screws. Should be enough, I think, but might just get the original ones out and just compare the length. I think those were the original ones, and those are a bit thicker, are those, and the length's about the same, but those are definitely a thicker diameter shaft than these ones. I'll just have to tighten them up, I think, and see what happens. Yeah, it's not great, I don't think. There's definitely no not a good connection on those. With those being a bigger diameter, so I'm gonna have to just see if I can find some more screws. I do remember when I took this off, it was very tight getting the screws out. Just check that those are the correct and that they're going in the correct place. Yeah, those seem a lot better. Just have to have a hunt, see if I can find any more screws. Still not fully down, that nut there. When I was tightening these nuts up yesterday, I did touch the paintwork with the spanner, and this is quite tight. I don't know if I've got some bit of something, a bit of paint or a bit of lacquer or something in the thread, but that one's quite tight. The other ones went on fairly reasonable. I don't think it'll make a difference to anything, but it does need tightening down. Yeah, the spanner slipped into the paintwork. I don't know whether I've just not left everything long enough before, you know, in each process. I don't know if I've just rushed things a little bit. I said the lacquer is crazed. For what reason? I'm not sure. Apart from, you know, like I said, not letting things set up, and, you know, for long enough before going on with the next process. I do find I tend to be a little bit hasty. I like to get things done. So I've been down to the local B&Q. The best thing I could do down there was get these screws for the neck plate. Would have preferred a rounded head, and these are like, I think 40mm ones, and the original ones look about 45. So I'll basically use some of these for the time being, and once I can come across some of these, I'll probably replace them. Don't look too bad. The ones that I've put in there, so the only problem is there's a little bit of a risk of catching clothing on them and what have you, but there'll only be me playing this thing, I should imagine, so I'll have to take that risk until I can replace them. I was in need of a nut, and the guy just been round to the music shop to get some strings, and did need a nut, and unfortunately didn't have any in that had the string slots in. He did have a piece of tusk, which was bigger than that. I needed quite considerably bigger, and that was £9 for the piece of tusk. And I did spot in one of the cabin, that's this little fella, and I says, any chance of having that one? So he sold me that for a couple of quid. But what I've got to do now is, that's the one, and it just does fit really nicely in there. This is probably a sort of a perfect fit, to tell you the truth, which I'm reasonably pleased about. Don't have to do much messing with that. The only thing I do need to do is cut the slots in it. Okay, so first thing I've noticed about this particular nut is, I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, it is tapered, so I need to make sure that I get that the right way before I start doing any filing. So it's going to be that way, so that the highest point of the taper is on the bridge side of the nut. I have dug a hacksaw blade out, and it does fit in the slots right up, really up to the G string, just about. Possibly, into the B string and the lower E. It's just probably the A and the I'll try the D string and the G string. The D one seems a sort of pretty perfect fit, to tell you the truth. So I might start off with the D string and then work on the others, but just go really careful on those. So what I'll do first is just mark up where these are going to line up. I'm just doing this with a pen, because I think it's just a little bit easier than a pencil, to tell you the truth. So that'll be the point where I need to work from. And what I can actually do, I think, is if I hold those together, I can actually start cutting the slots using the existing slot, just as a guide. So that's going to be the D string. So I've got the nut on, and once I got the strings on, I think it just didn't look right. The spacings were uneven, so I think the mistake I've made is using the existing nut that came off this guitar. It may have been made by somebody and the spacings were wrong. So I probably will replace this again, probably buy one that's already made with the spacings in it. But until I get a replacement, this will have to do for the time being. So I've got the strings on and cut the ends off. I'm going to bob these string trees on. That's the next job before going too far. I'm going to put both sets on because I just feel that the way particularly I've strung this G string is a fair bit higher than the D. Shouldn't really make any difference down here, it's more the angle from the bridge, but just in order to keep some consistency, I think I'll bob them both on. So just find a position for them. I think that will probably be okay. Just opposite the A string machine head. Just slacken the tension off on those two strings while I bob this on. I did buy them in a set, and both the blocks are the same height. Although with the butterfly ones you can adjust the height. So I dare say you could with these by just taking some material off the bottom. But I don't have the suitable tools to do that, so I'm just going to put these both on as they are, and hope that they do the job. So I'll position that one there. Whether there strictly is a position that they should be in, I don't really know. If anybody does know, want to just let me know what the situation is with that. Now I've loosened these strings, they're not actually staying in the right place there, so bob that round about that position, I think. I hope that I'm not a million miles out. Just have to base it on where the B string is, because the other one's got mind of its own at the moment. So that string will go under there. So I think I'll go just where that is there. So I'm just going to I don't have a small enough drill bit for making a pilot hole for this screw, so I'll just make a small hole to get things going and put the screw in first, and then take it out and then put the string tree back in. Just hope these screws are good enough that the heads don't get damaged. Okay, so I'll bob this in now. Just locate it in the same hole. I'm not sure either whether the orientation, whether they should face forward or back, I'm not sure. I'm just wondering if I'm possibly hit the original string tree hole somewhere around about there, and it's gone off on a tangent. I won't over tighten that because it's not done the screw head that much good. Even probably screws are a little bit cheap. I'll just tighten those up then a little bit. If I can get that to stay in place. A fair bit of angle on these. There's not as much angle on the top E and the B. There's a bit less angle on the D and G, and the most angle is on these, which is probably okay. Just need enough angle just to hold everything in place.